Hey, just a quick asset. There's a lot of different times when I want to have some candles in a scene, and sometimes I'll model like a little flame or something, but I always feel ridiculous because it could be such a lightweight video texture. So I finally put one of those together, and it's a little thing that kind of self-randomizes. We're in Eevee right now, but if we hop over into Cycles, you can see it's just, you know, a little 2D video texture, but I want it to actually be able to cast light, and the video texture wouldn't be bright enough to do that, so I'm also cheating. I have this other invisible geometry here that's just casting more light out, so it'll work better with a path tracer. Let's see, and that's the light boost material here, so we can affect how bright we want the candle to be, kind of independent of the actual video texture. And the video texture itself comes in kind of 3 different levels of intensity. There's steady, which is basically not moving at all. It's like if you just have it, you know, on a shelf in a room. There's medium breeze, which is kind of like if it's near a window, and then there's heavy breeze, which is like if it's really windy. I just set up a box fan and kind of, you know, blew it like crazy for a couple minutes. And yeah, they're all in these sequences because I think that's going to be by far the most efficient way to actually have them in your scene, as opposed to like in MP4 it has to de-encode and all of that. I've also got some of these candles if that's useful. But yeah, I think all I'll be uploading is probably a file that looks like this, because you only need one, because it's self-randomizing here. You can see we've got 28 different flames all kind of doing their own little flicker thing, and so it's really lightweight because it's all just referencing one video texture. And if we go into the shader editor, you can see I've got this little UV randomizer group, which is useful if you ever need to use it. It just randomly offsets the UV coordinates by however many columns or rows. So if you ever want to make a grid of like apartment interiors or anything like that, this will randomize it every single time you copy it. If you kind of go like that, you can see it's a different flame every time. There we go. There we go. Yeah, that's nice. Should be pretty self-explanatory, but you can change, obviously, the brightness of the emission itself. I kind of like to keep it around 3 or 4. And also, you'll have to append in the video texture into the candle flame material on your end, because Blender does not let you pack video textures into blend files themselves. But it is very easy. Here's the texture here under the candle flame. You go open. You pick the one you want. Let's go heavy breeze. I'm going to make sure it's sorted by name. Select everything with A. Open image, and there we go. Now they're all blowing around. If we go to Eevee, we can see a better frame rate. Yeah, just nice and. But one thing that's kind of a bummer is the human brain is really good at identifying similarities in movement. So even though we've got 28 different flames, if 2 of them go whoop at the same time, like it might kind of stand out. Here, if we go back to Eevee. Like, actually, it doesn't look so bad, but if you want a little bit more variety, you can create just a whole new material that's just offset a little bit, and that'll give you twice as many options to work from here. So all you have to do, you can duplicate this candle with Shift-D, and let's click plus here, and that'll make a whole new version of the flame. Here, we can call this, like, offset, and we can just change the start frame here, and we can do that again. And now, instead of 28 candles, we have 86 different varieties. Then you just duplicate all of these, and they should be lining up a lot less frequently. Actually, it's interesting. So you used to have to create a whole new instance of the texture by clicking like this to make it a single user of the texture, because textures and materials were stored separately, which meant if you offset one of these, it was offsetting the starting frame for every single material that also used that same texture. So you had to make it a unique user. But it looks like if it's an image sequence, or maybe they just updated something, but you don't have to do that anymore. But yeah, anyways, I'm just excited to find that out because that's convenient. And just to finish showing all of them, let's load in steady. And there we go. Yeah, you can see it just kind of moves just a tiny little bit. But yeah, hopefully these are kind of cool for adding a little bit of life to the background of a scene or somewhere. I like having little specific light sources in a scene, and candles are a really good way to kind of make things feel a little bit cozy. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions.